1 rotisserie chicken, and 3 healthy, low-calorie, high-protein dinners for 3 people. I have here a rotisserie chicken that literally costed me $5 only. You cannot even buy a raw chicken for this amount of money. And I'm gonna make 3 different dinners out of it. This is what you can do to basically prepare it ahead of time. I'm gonna take the breast out and take the dark meat and put it separately. And for bones, I'm gonna make a soup. So nothing pretty much gonna be wasted out of this chicken. Oh, maybe besides the skin, because I am not gonna use the skin, but you feel free to use it. And this part of the chicken is like the best tasting, FYI. And these are the bones that I'm gonna use for my stock. I'm gonna remove all the meat from it because I'm gonna use it for another dish. So this is my recipe number 2. This is my recipe number 3, which is the soup, and the chicken breast, the recipe number 1. 3 recipes. So let's put this one aside. I'm gonna make a dinner for tomorrow. And today I'm gonna use the chicken breast. I'm starting with the chicken breast because it's nice and warm still. And if you're gonna reheat it tomorrow, for example, it's not gonna be as good as it is today. That's the only reason why I'm gonna start with this recipe first, which is, as you can see, a Caesar salad. I'm gonna start with the dressing. 1 ounce of mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and I love anchovies, so 1 anchovy goes inside. You can skip the step, some people just don't like it. 1 to 2 garlic cloves, 1 whole egg. Normally you would use an egg yolk, but it adds volume and with less calories pretty much. Salt and pepper to taste, just a little bit of salt, not too much because the anchovies are already salty. And just blend it all. This is actually more than enough for 3 servings. And for this, I'm gonna add 5% Greek yogurt and mix it all together. So instead of olive oil, I'm using Greek yogurt. And look how creamy it is, you would not even know. And let's get some lettuce. I have 3 romaine heads of lettuce. I'm gonna season with salt and pepper and grind some Parmesan cheese. The first pile is for my dressing, and the second one is gonna be to sprinkle the salad at the end. And a little goes a long way. So I have only a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, which is about 14 grams. And stir it together. So this is my version of a Caesar dressing. It's very light comparing to regular one. A huge difference in calories. And tastes amazing. I can guarantee you're not even gonna know. And I'm gonna cut up the chicken breast and put in 3 different servings. So each serving has about 5 to 6 ounces of chicken breast, which is tons of protein. Altogether, the whole dish is extremely low in calories. Another half an ounce at the most of Parmesan cheese. That's not too much. And on top of it, let's just sprinkle a little bit of extra dressing. You know, the original dressing is already in the lettuce. That's the best way to put it all together. And this one is another great trick for croutons. I have the recipe with a different video, so you can go check it out. I'm gonna put the link down in below. It's literally just 1 toast, 40 calories, that's it. And here you go, 3 different dinners. And for the next day, I'm gonna make another amazing, delicious dish, which I'm gonna use the dark meat for. And I have some mushroom, I have onion and garlic. mushroom, by the way, is pretty high in protein for a vegetable. It's like one of the highest protein vegetable. And chop everything ahead of time because the whole process is going to be extremely quick. Maybe not extremely, but pretty quick. And as you can see, I do not add any oil to it. I'm just going to add a little bit of butter for the flavor, which is just 1/4 tablespoon, very, very little. That's just pretty much for the flavor. Saute the onion and garlic until translucent and soft. And when they're ready, there go the mushroom. Stir it so the mushroom can coat evenly and also can touch the bottom of the pan so it can brown a little bit. That process should take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Look how nice and brown they are. And now we're ready to put some pepper, some salt, and the meat. And this is how I determine how much meat I have. Reset the scale to 0, dump the meat into the pan, put it back, and that's how I know how many ounces I have here. Then I divide by 3, since we're going to have 3 different servings. And that's how I pretty much calculate my calories for this one. And I'm going to add just a little bit. This is like 1.5 ounces of heavy whipping cream. This is highly caloric. You can add milk if you prefer to have it even lighter dish, but you know, a little goes a long way, as I like to say, and it's gonna thicken nicely. It adds a lot of flavor, and we don't need too much sauce. Look, it's perfect, ready to serve. And I'm gonna serve it with my perfect mashed potatoes, low calorie mashed potatoes. I'm gonna also include a link down in the description. And here it is. It's another wholesome dinner, high in protein, low in calories, and it's absolutely delicious. It's nice and creamy, goes with perfectly with these mashed potatoes. You can also use rice if you prefer to. And recipe number 3, which is the bones. So I'm going to use the bones to create chicken stock. So I have a parsley root here, and if you do not have parsley, because they are not very easy to find in the store, mostly they have parsnips, you can use these parsley leaves. It's going to be as good. And 1 small onion. I'm going to cut it in half, take the peel off, and just cut the ends just a little bit, and leave the rest so it doesn't fall apart completely. And peel the parsley root and the carrots. And this is a different way I make chicken stock that you may see anywhere else. This is my Polish way, like my grandma taught me. It's on a very, very low boil, very, very tiny boil. It's like you basically not allowing the stock to boil. And it creates a very nice and clear stock. This stock cooks for hours, and it's crucial for it to cook for hours on a very low heat, because that's the best way to get the flavor out of all the vegetables and those bones. Trust me, it's worth it. You can start it in the morning, and then 4 or 5 hours later you're gonna have amazing, amazing broth. It's absolutely worth it. And off we go to the stove, and the process just starts. After an hour, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of salt. I didn't add too much, just because we already have the rotisserie chicken that is already flavored. So if you do need more salt, you can add later. And I added some freshly ground pepper. And look like how slightly it boils. You can just see that there is something moving there, but it's not really, there is no rolling boil. You want to avoid that. And you will lose some liquid, as you can see. That's normal, don't be alarmed. But look how dark it got already. And usually I leave it in the fridge for overnight, let it cool. Look how thick it is. That's all that collagen from the bones. This is really nice and healthy. So now for the soup, I'm gonna fish all the bones out, all the meat. And make sure you don't leave any bones in there. The only thing that you wanna leave are the vegetables, because we're gonna blend it all. That way you're gonna create more creamier soup without adding any cream. And for a little bit of flavor, I'm gonna add the San Marzano style tomatoes and continue blending. Once it's all ready, put it back on the stove. And the other fun part, or maybe time-consuming part, is removing all the meat out of the bones. It doesn't seem like you have much, but trust me, you do. You have a lot. And I weighted this. It's about 6 to 7 ounces, I believe, if I remember this right. So it's not that little. You have 2 ounces, more than 2 ounces for a serving size. And this is a butternut squash. I love this vegetable because it cooked extremely fast, adds a lot of sweetness to the soup. And also once it cooks, it releases its starches. And that way you have an even thicker soup. So win-win situation here. I'm gonna add it to the soup and cook for 30 minutes. That's all it takes for the butternut squash to soften. And because I only have 2 ounces, about 2 ounces of meat, I'm gonna saute ground beef. This is 93% lean ground beef, and I'm going for 3 ounces per serving. And here I have banza pasta. This is how I go about determining how much goes per serving. So I weigh the whole thing and then I divide it into 3 portions. Usually for me I take a little bit less. I don't want too much pasta, not too many calories. I'm gonna add the 2 ounces of ground beef and the soup. And here we go, another amazing dish. That ground beef, that butternut squash, it all adds tons of flavor. It's such a satisfying and filling, very filling dish. So here we go. 3 different recipes, just 1 chicken, nothing wasted here. If you like this type of recipes, make sure you check this playlist here. And that's where I'm gonna see you next.